Okay, homologous structure we have discussed. The next one is the analogous structure. So organisms having different structural patterns but similar functions are termed as analogous structure. Okay, different structural pattern but similar functions are termed as analogous structure. For example, the wings of birds and insects are different structurally but perform the same function of flight. That brings about convergent evolution. Divergent, convergent. So divergent, similar structure, different function. Convergent, different structure, similar function. So wings of the birds and insects, they are using the wings only one similar function. What is the function? So flight. So function is similar, but the wings of the birds and wings of the insects structures are different. So structurally different, but in the same functions are known as for what? Convergent evolution. That structures are known as analogous organ. See here, wings of the birds and then in the wings of the insects. Okay, so structure is different structure but similar function. What is the similar function? Flight. Okay, can you understood? Other examples of analogous organs include the eyes of the octopus and of the mammals. Eyes of the octopus and mammals, and the flippers of the penguins and dolphins. These are the example of analogous structures. And the root modifications in sweet potato and stem modification in potato are considered as the analogous organ. Both of these plants have a common function of storage of food. Sweet potato sweet potato root potato stem main function in storage. But structure is different structure, but function is function, storage of food material. Can you understand? Different structure, same function is known as analogous structures. That evolution is known as the convergent evolution. The next one is the vestigial organ. Structures that are of no use of the possessor and are not necessary for their existence are called vestigial. இப்போ நம்மகிட்ட ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இருக்குது, அந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்னால நமக்கு யூஸே கிடையாது, எந்த விதமான தேவையுமே கிடையாதுன்றப்ப that organs are known as the vestigial organ. Vestigial organ may be considered as remnants of the structures. Remnants, useless structures which were well developed and functional in the ancestors. So that remnants, it is very well developed in the ancestor. That functions also is very well developed in that time, ancient time. But now the modern time it is disappeared due to the evolution, not utilization. Okay, for example, we will say human appendix is the remnants of cecum. Cecum is பெருகுடல்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய one of the pouch like structure, that is known as a cecum. Okay, it is which is functional in the digestive tract of herbivorous animals like rabbits. Okay, but cellulose digestion takes place inside the cecum of these animals. Due to change in the diet containing less cellulose, cecum in human become functionless. முந்தி காலத்தில் ப்ரீஹிஸ்டாரிக்கில் எல்லாமே ராவாக சாப்பிட்டான், அப்படியே பச்சையாக சாப்பிட்டா, அப்போ அதுக்கான யூசேஜ் இருந்துச்சு. ஆனால் இப்போ நிறைய மாடிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ், நம்ம எதையுமே பச்சையாக சாப்பிட்றதில்ல, ஃபுல்லாக குக் பண்ணி சாப்பிட்றோம். அப்படின்றப்ப அங்கே அந்த சீக்கம்ன்ற பார்ட்டில் அந்த டைஜஷனே நடக்கலை. அப்போ அது என்ன, அது சுருங்கி டிஸப்பியர் ஆகி நேரோ இன் ஸ்ட்ரக்சராக மாறி அது வெர்மிஃபார்ம் அப்பெண்டிக்ஸாக மாறிடுச்சு, யூஸ்லெஸ் ஆர்கனாக மாறிடுச்சு. ஸோ தட் ஆர்கன்ஸ் ஆர் நோன் அஸ் அ வெஸ்டிஜியல் ஆர்கன், யூஸ்லெஸ். அதனால் நமக்கு எந்த விதமான தேவையுமே கிடையாது. Okay, that organs are known as a vestigial organ. Vermiform appendix, then coccyx, wisdom teeth, ஞானப்பல்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அது air muscles, body hair, meme in mammal, nictitating membrane of the eye, இதெல்லாம் ஃபஸ்ட்டு இருந்துச்சு. இப்போ எதுவுமே இல்லை, இப்போ எல்லாமே என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, டிஸப்பியர் ஆயிடுச்சு. அந்த வெர்மிஃபார்ம் அப்பெண்டிக்ஸ் மட்டும் நம்மளுடைய பாடிக்குள்ளே ப்ரெசன்ஸ் ஆயிருக்கு. ஓகேவா? ஸோ திஸ் ஆர்கன்ஸ் ஆர் known as the vestigial organ. The next one is the connecting link. The organisms which possesses the characters of two different groups are called connecting links. So that one particular organisms, but it is present in the two groups of animals characteristics, that is known as the connecting link. For example, peripatus. that animal connecting link between annelida and arthropoda. Annelida உன்னுடைய கேரக்டரும் இருக்கும், arthropoda உன்னுடைய கேரக்டரும் இருக்கும். So we are saying that is known as the connecting link between annelida and arthropoda. Okay, like that Archaeopteryx, connecting link between reptiles and aves. Reptile உன்னுடைய கேரக்டரும் presence ஆயிருக்கும், then அதே மாதிரி birds உன்னுடைய கேரக்டரும் present ஆயிருக்கும். That is known as the Archaeopteryx. Okay. That is the bird, but it is present, both the reptiles character also is present, so it is connecting link between birds and then in a reptiles. Can you understood connecting link? The next one, atavistic organ, sudden appearance of vestigial. நமக்கு தேவையில்லாத அந்த vestigial organ சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, அந்த vestigial organ now modern lifeல sudden appear ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? ஒரு highly evolved organism வந்து develop ஆகும். ஓகேவா? ஸோ அதைத்தான் நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்கிறோம், atavistic organ. Sudden appearance of vestigial organ in highly evolved organism is called atavistic organ. For example, presence of tail in the human baby is an atavistic. கற்பனை பண்ணிப்பார், ஒரு குழந்தை நியூவாக ஒரு குழந்தை பிறக்குது, அந்த குழந்தைக்கு வால் இருக்குது அப்படின்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? அதுதான் வந்து என்னது, atavistic organ. Okay, can you understood all of you? Evidences from the comparative anatomy, homologous structure, analogous structure, vestigial organ, connecting link and atavistic organ. Okay, the next we are going to discuss about the embryological evidences. Embryology. What is the meaning of embryology? Developmental stages, development of an organisms. So how the organism it is developing. Okay, they can develop. Okay, that is known as the embryology, embryological evidences. Embryology deals with the study of the development of individual from the egg into the adult stage. எக்கில் இருந்து adult ஸ்டேஜுக்கு ஒரு எம்ப்ரியோ, ஒரு ஆர்கானிசம், ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவல் எப்படி டெவலப் ஆகுன்றதை பற்றி படிக்கிறதா என்னது எம்ப்ரியாலஜி. A detailed study of the embryonic development of different forms make us to think that there is a close resemblance during development. So we will see the embryonic development in a different organism. It is saying to us what is the relationship between among the organisms. Okay. The development of heart in all the vertebrates from the same pattern of development as the pair of tubular structure. For example, they have given here development of the heart. இப்போ ஒரு சில ஆர்கனிசத்துக்கு 2 சேம்பர், 3 சேம்பர், 4 சேம்பர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் சேம்பர்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹார்ட் வந்து ப்ரெசன்ஸ் ஆகிருக்கு டியூரிங் த அடல்ட் ஸ்டேஜ். பட் இன் எம்ப்ரியானிக் டெவலப்மெண்ட் தட் இஸ் இன் அ சேம் it is look like same in all the vertebrates, but we can have in a 2 chamber heart, 3 chamber heart and 4 chamber heart. The development of heart in all vertebrates follow the same patterns of development as a pair of tubular structure that later develop into the 2 chamber heart in fishes, 3 chamber heart in amphibians and most reptiles, and 4 chamber heart in crocodiles, birds and mammals, indicating a common ancestry for all the vertebrates. So it is indicating that, okay, it is indicating that for what common ancestors are present in the ancient time. So now we can have in a lot of modifications. Now different higher vertebrates are developed, but all the higher vertebrates are developed from the common ancestor. Okay, that we can understand with the help of this what embryological development. Fishes. Okay, see the developmental stages. See here the same salamander, different type of fishes. See the tortoise, a same similar in structure. See the chick, that is also is a similar in structure. See the human being, this look like a similar. The embryology is the similar for in a number of organisms. Okay, but after in adult stage it is differ. So it is showing the what it is showing. It is showing the what similarities. It is came from the common ancestor. Okay, so hence the scientist in the 19th century concluded that higher animals during their embryonic development pass through stages of lower animals. So they are saying, all the scientists they are saying in the 19th century they have concluded that all the higher animals during the embryological development they can pass through the stages of the lower organism, their ancestor. ஸோ ஆன்சிஸ்டர் முதல்ல எப்படி இருந்தாங்களோ அதை கலந்து ஒரு ஹையர் ஆர்கானிசம் வந்து டெவலப் ஆகுது அப்படின்றத கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்க. ஓகே, Ernst von Haeckel propounded the biogenetic law. The scientist Ernst von Haeckel is propounded the biogenetic law. one of the law. That law it is known as the biogenetic law or theory of recapitulation. Okay, biogenetic law or theory of recapitulation, which states that the life history of an individual briefly repeats or recapitulates the evolutionary history of the race. So what the theory it is saying states that life history of an individual briefly repeats or recapitulates the evolutionary history of the race.